Yo, what's going on, your boy Ghost here, and today I'm bringing us a comparison video between the Krig and M13. Now, based off the newest patch that just came out, I felt like it was an appropriate time to drop a video like this because, you know, although the DMR received a very minor nerf, I feel like using other weapons is a little bit more forgiving now compared to the past few days. As I was playing, I saw a little bit more variety as opposed to the days prior to the nerf. Not to say that the DMR still isn't king, because the DMR, you know, still runs rampant. It's still pretty much in everyone's loadout. But for me personally, I was, you know, I felt like I was able to use other guns and find a little bit of success with it. But yeah, when the proper nerf comes for the DMR, I just want you guys to be informed about some of these weapons that I believe could be, you know, coming up there. But today, you know, obviously we're gonna be highlighting two like very low recoil weapons, the Krig and M13. You know, I believe these are weapons that are very easy to control, pretty much no recoil. And if and when the Krig gets nerfed, because it definitely is going to get a nerf, it has to get a nerf eventually. It's going to be a serious, serious problem. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. We're just straight grinding. Also, if you want, feel free to go log me a follow on Twitch. We've been streaming over there, grinding as well. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into this comparison. And here we have the recoil pattern for the Krig. This right here is one of the biggest reasons why I say it has no recoil and it's easy to control. And I know at the end there it kind of goes curved, but when you're in engagement, more than likely you're not going to get to that point. So it's very easy to control because it's a straightforward recoil pattern. And as you may have seen, or as you may have saw by my class, I have no underbarrel, and that's because, well, for one, like I keep mentioning, it's a very easy gun to use, easy to control and whatnot, but also because I wanted to use the stock that has been proven to be a very good stock. I'm not gonna call it broken or overpowered, but the second to last stock on most ARs, or not most ARs, all ARs, allows you to strafe at a pretty crazy rate. Like, strafing in Call of Duty is very good, and I don't know if many of you guys play BO4, but in BO4, the SOG and SMG had an attachment stock 2, or even just the normal stock, that allowed it to strafe. And if you don't know what strafing is, it's basically when you're ADSing, right, and you're able to just move left and right. Now, I'm not talking about aiming, I'm talking about your actual movement, like your character moving from left to right. And the faster your strafe is, the harder it is to hit you. So if you are in an engagement, right, and you also got to think about it from the perspective of the person that's trying to shoot you, when you're aimed in, your ADS slows down, or your ADS sensitivity, whatever, it makes you slow down. So going left to right is kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's a little, not slow, but it's not fast. And if someone's moving really, really fast, it's going to be hard to hit those shots. And if that person's able to hit you, you're already at a disadvantage, you're probably going to die. But by no means do I want to make this attachment to seem like the most game-breaking, overpowered thing, because at the end of the day, it's not. It is, in my opinion, a better attachment than an underbarrel, because, again, I don't feel like you need the underbarrel with this weapon. I feel like you find more benefit of being able to strafe faster than using the underbarrel. Again, though, this is all personal preference. That's what I believe. Maybe you're a different player. Maybe you feel like you're going to need that underbarrel, and feel free to do so. You know, I don't feel like you're going to be missing out if you don't use one over the other. I think both are great attachments, but for me, personally, I don't think I need it. But, yeah, feel free to do whatever you want. It's your gun at the end of the day. Experiment at your own will. But anyways, getting into the biggest disadvantage that I see with using the Krig and just any Cold War AR in general is the range aspect of it. See, now with an M13, I'm confident at any range. Although, yes, I have said my bad things about the M13, and it's a little on the weaker side, I do have my confidence at range because it's an AR. It's going to be able to get it done at those ranges. Like, maybe I won't necessarily down people, but I will do some damage. I'll probably break their armor, get them one shot. But with the Krig, it feels like, you know, it's those really long ranges, it doesn't, you know, it's not packing a punch. And I don't know whether that's the damage range of these ARs or the fact that the damage drop off is insane, but man, like, they need to buff these ARs at range. Because I think, you know, right, the Krig does well at close range. It excels at medium range. And slightly, once you start getting to a little bit to the long range, you know, it's okay. But then when you start getting to those true long ranges, it just disappears. And it's crazy because the Krig does feel a lot stronger than the M13. And you know, I don't know, like the M13 just overall to me feels like a pea shooter. You know, at times it does feel like it melts people, but man, there's just those instances where it doesn't hit, it just doesn't be hidden. But this Krig, it be hidden, and when they buff this weapon, it's gonna be a problem. It is gonna be a problem. But anyways, with that being said, let's get into M13. And here we have the recoil pattern for the M13. As you can see, it has a pretty strong similarity to the Krig one. It goes straight up, then it starts to shift right or curve right. But in this instance, it curves right a lot quicker because, you know, it has a faster fire rate, so it develops a lot quicker. But in game, man, you don't really feel that curve, just like the Krig. You don't really feel that curve. But you do feel that fire rate. The fire rate, obviously, one of the biggest things that the M13 has. It shoots quick, and it's very precise. And that's, you know, the Krig. That definitely is what beats the Krig. I think the Krig, you know, is a very good, accurate weapon, but the M13 is just, in my opinion, still even right now one of the more, or if not the most accurate weapon in the game. And you know, it shoots fast, but with it shooting fast, the damage suffers from it. And man, the M13 for me is one of those weapons that I'm always indifferent about. Half the time I think it's a pea shooter and it's horrible. Half the time I think it's not that bad. And then, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm frying with it. It's actually pretty good. But there is a group out there that literally swears by this weapon and thinks it's the best gun in the game at all times. That they think it's the best they are. And I don't know, bro. People were saying it was better than the Kilo. Even to this day, I don't understand where that argument came up, because that is just not true. I'm sorry, but even now, with the Kilo being nerfed and whatever, it's still like the M13, in my opinion, is still not better than that Kilo. But that's not to say it's not a bad weapon, because at the end of the day, right, this is what I feel about it, and we're all different. So my personal preference and my personal opinion about this weapon could be completely different than yours. You might think, again, this M13 is the best gun in the game. But hey, if you're putting in work with it, that's all that matters. It don't matter what I'm saying about it, right? It don't matter what the stats say. It don't matter what any people say. If it's good in your hands and you're able to slay out with it, man, then there you go, man. This is your gun. But in retrospect here, right, in this comparison, Krig-wise, like I said earlier, it's definitely weaker, but it has a faster fire rate. It has better, I would say it has better accuracy, but like not by much. Control wise, it's about the same of the Krig, kinda. And even so, if the M13 had a little advantage, it would have a slight advantage over it. But all in all, both these weapons are very similar to one another, and they share a lot of characteristics. But again, the one lingering factor between both is the damage range or damage drop or whatever that would make, in my opinion, the M13 a little bit more appealing. Again, though, like I mentioned, the Krig does feel a lot stronger, so people could lean towards that. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, it's just that range could be the deciding factor for many. Not to say, though, that you cannot hit shots. Here's the thing, though, right? You can, like, hit a bullet at range. That's not the problem. But the problem is how effective is that bullet actually going to be at, I don't know, like 150 meters, right? So the Krig could literally just do nothing at 150 meters, while the M13 could help you, could do things, could down people, could break armor. And, you know, hopefully, if they fix this game, because there's a lot of broken things about it. I mean, look, the attachments aren't working properly. We got this problem with the guns. We got the DMR zone. We got the Diomedes. Like, we have all this. But if they can actually fix their game, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? You know, who knows how these weapons are gonna be. And hell, I kind of predicted or wanted to predict that the Krig was gonna be like a Growl before it got nerfed. Obviously, that's far from the truth right now. But it has a lot. I feel like it could be like that. No recoil, pretty powerful. All we're waiting for is the damage range. If that happens, I'm telling you, man, when the DMR gets nerfed, or if the DMR gets nerfed again, that's what the Krig's gonna become, as long as it gets buffed. Now that's a lot of hopeful thinking because at the end of the day, man, we're dealing with Activision here, and we already know how long it takes them to actually fix their game, and even then, they don't even fix their game. More problems just arise from it. But in a perfect world, let's just say these things do happen. You know, then it's gonna be a good day. But anyways, let me know what your opinions are about the Krig and M13. What do you personally think is better? What do you personally prefer, and why? But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.